Devotion is being re-released after its Winnie the Pooh controversy. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to get your news as fast as possible. Horror game Devotion by Taiwanese developer Red Candle Games will be re-released and will now include a physical version, but only in Taiwan. Now let me give a little bit of backstory and also why I have it as today's story. Devotion released digitally in February of 2019, but was pulled from Steam by the developer shortly after that, when players discovered a poster in-game mocking Chinese President Xi Jinping. So the poster apparently had the Chinese president and compared him that he looked like Winnie the Pooh, which is actually kind of adorable and happens all the time in political comics and cartoons, right? Well, not in China. After being discovered in-game, emotions were high for Chinese players who review bombed it on Steam heavily. Red Candle's account was then shut down on China's huge social media site Weibo, and the publisher IndieVent had its business license cancelled by the Chinese government. And all of this finally led to the game being removed from Steam. But that's not where the story ends. On Twitter in July 2019, 5 months after the game was released, the developer offered its most sincere apology to all impacted team and personnel because of the art asset incident. Many players, industry friends, and the media are starting to understand that the incident was indeed a malfunction of project management, not a deliberate act. Red Candle's co-founders reached an unanimous decision to not re-release Devotion in the near term, and re-release would depend on if, in the future, the public would be willing to view this game rationally and allow us the opportunity to rebuild our trust with our players. And now, in June, almost a year later, the developer posted on Facebook with the announcement of the physical version that throughout the year since the shelf, we've been thinking about how to respond to all players who support Red Candle, and the physical version is the latest small step for the team. Acknowledging that the limited Taiwan-only release will definitely not satisfy all players, and asked fans for more trust and patience while they try various possibilities. Now, this may be a small story, but it's also part of a larger story, which is the censoring of games, especially in China, but in general as well. I mean, before we had the PUBG mobile version, which actually quite hilariously, when they die in China, they don't allow bombs, guns, violence. In the PUBG mobile version in China, if you die, you leave a loot box, but you also go on your hands and knees and you hand it to someone, you offer it to them, and then the body disappears. You don't show any death. There is a special version of Mario Kart and Mario Odyssey in China for the Tencent official Chinese Nintendo Switch, and the reason why is that they deemed Mario Kart too violent to just have it on its own because of the bombs and explosions. And this idea that they have to change the narrative for their consumers, or rather for the people of their country, is actually quite damaging. I think this is an important story, not just because of the story itself, but also what it represents. If you do have anything you would like to say about the story, please leave it down in the comments below, because this is something that is a huge interest to me. I'd like to see how games are kind of viewed, or also how they're experienced in different countries and how different people view this in particular. So thank you very much for listening. I've been Gary Clark, and this has been whatever this is. If you have any advice or suggestions, or just want to comment on today's story, feel free to leave them down in the comments down below, or you can also go into the description and find my social links and you can message me there. I don't mind. I will listen to everybody's feedback and I will probably be replying to most of your comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, because of course then you can get this news faster and I will be able to pump this news out with a happier and bigger smile on my face, knowing that someone is there to receive it. So again, thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and stay aware. Goodbye.